Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed the game so far. This video is a little different than my other video about the Starter Blade because this time I'm not going to talk about the collectibles or missable stuffs in the game. Instead, I'm going to teach you about the best build you can create with the Eve for whatever purpose you want from her to do during the game. There are a different type of builds for every purpose you choose, and in this video I will talk best build setups you can have with her, included DPS build, which is can increase your sword damage and make you a deadly fighter, burst and beta builds for damage of your skills when you prefer them, and you can recharge them faster. Defensive build for when you go to fight with the boss when you don't know how to use the perfect dodge and perfect parry, and some farming build which is needed for the end game time when you need some skill points to learn all skills in the sixth category of the game. And also I will tell you the location of the all Exospine and the gear I use for making these builds. So be with me during this video, and if you find it useful at the end, please subscribe to my channel and leave some likes and comments for me. Tell me which builds you choose for her and what you think about the game. Okay, let's start from the first thing I told you, DPS build. As I said, this one focus on the damage of your sword, blood age, but it has a one big problem. You cannot deal this amount of damage, near as double than normal mode, if you don't have a full health. So if you get a single hit during your fight, you will lose everything. So if you don't know how to use a perfect dodge and perfect parrying, please forget it. But if you know how to use them and have some trust in your timing, and also have some healing item in your inventory, you can easily go with it and kill any boss in front of you. For build this one, you need two Exospine, which first one is a Reflex-Type. It will give you a better window to use your perfect dodge and perfect parry. It can be found in the Matrix 11, where some train come toward you and you need to jump away. When it stops, you can go inside it and find your orange box. Second one is a Suppression-Type Exospine, which is increase the damage to the downed enemy and the time they will be at their this state. This one can be found a little further where you reach to the Great Desert. If you go to the west, you can find the hyper tube near the entrance to this tube. You will see a yellow iron floor with some guard turret above it. If you defeat all of them, you can find your box. About the gear, you can use a perfect combat gear and double H gear. First one will mm, let you deal high amount of damage when your health is full, as I said. To find this one, you need to complete the side quest called Life of Scavenger, and you can buy the second level from the Kaya Jian, and the third level can be found in the Spire 4, where you go inside the dam and some floors fall. If you look at your left hand, you can see a box with this item inside it. The double edge gear is a little hard to use. It will reduce your defense but give you a better chance to deal a damage and higher damage. The first one can be bought from the Kaya. Second one can be found at the end of the side quest called Encounter, where you defeat the Behemoth. And the third one can be found during the secret region called Eidos 9 after defeating the boss inside it. So if you know how to use a perfect dodge and perfect parrying, this build is for you to kill everything in your way. Second build is about the burst skill. You cannot use this build until you reach the halfway in the Matrix 11 and defeat the Stalker, because after defeating him you see a new gauge above your health, which is about these skills. With this build you can have a more amount of burst energy. Beside, you can increase its effective and how you can charge it faster. To create this build, first you need Suppression-Type Exospine. I tell you about it in the previous build. You also need a burst Trance-Type Exospine, can be found in the Matrix 11, where you are in the room where you need to fill it with the water. If you go to the right hand of the road, which go to the platform, can rise the water, you can see iron door, and inside that room you can see your orange box. About the gear, first we need can use a perfect combat gear, which I told you about it in the previous video, like the first Exospine. But the second one is a burst expansion gear, which will increase the amount of burst energy. The first one can be found after you defeating the Taki at the end of the Matrix 11, and the second one will reward it to you after defeating the Robin at the end game section. But about the third one, we can use a brass charge gear. It has a 3 level. First one will give it to you as soon as you find the burst skill. Second one can be found after defeating the Millstone Epios Lovire, and the third one can be found in the Spire 4, where you need to run away from some lasers, and if you touch them, some trance try to shoot you. If you this one, you can charge your burst energy faster by 16, 22 and 27% than normal mode. So if you know how to use a perfect dodge, you can easily use this build, because this energy bar is full up when you use some dots. Third build, like a second one, was related to some skills, and this time it's about the beta. You have access to these skills from the beginning of the game, and you can use them as soon as you reach to the 807, and you can create this build. Like last build, this one also increases its power, its amount of energy, and how fast you can charge it. Also, by some gears and Exospine we use here, we have a better power. Also, you can charge your beta build with the parrying, and it's easier than to charge it than burst. So I really recommend to use this built for hold your game until you reach the boss fight, and there you can change some gear to the double edge to more effective your sword. So let's see how we can create this build. First, we need to find our two Exospine. The first one is a Reflex-Type, which can be found in Matrix 11, as I say you in the first build. The second one is a Beta Trance-Type Exospine, which can be found in the Matrix 11. In the side point, you reach to the camp in front of the people's hideout where died some moments ago, and if say I feel some warm, if you go to the opposite side, you reach to the some wooden branch, and if you break them, go inside, kill some enemy, so you can see your orange box. With this Exospine, you can increase amount of your energy, its power, and how you can charge it faster. About the gear, first I suggest use the beta enchantment gear, which can increase its power by 4.5, 6.5 and 8%. First one can be found in the 807, where you need to find some access card to move some irons, reach to the other side under some stuffs. The second one can be found in the Matrix 11 after defeating the Juggernaut, and the third one can be purged from the Digger robot, small robot in the Eidos 4. When you back from the Eidos 4, you can talk with him and do all his side quests, ask you about to run the program. Then he will come to the Jian and you can buy it from him. The second gear I suggest to use is a combat supply gear, which recovers some amount of your health after you defeating enemy. When you go for your boss fight, I suggest to change it with the double-edged gear. This one has a 3 level, like a first gear I told you. First level can be found at the wasteland near the south part of the workshop in the northwest part of the wasteland. You can see a box and pick it up inside it. The second one can be bought from the Kaya's shop, and the third one will given to you after defeating the boss at the end of the burning Jian, after you're shooting from the Eidos 4. And the last one I say to use is a perfect combat gear, which told you about it in the first build. So if you want one of the balanced and the best build in the game, I suggest use it to can easily kill every enemies in your way. Just change some gear when you reach to the boss fight. Our next build is about the how to be a tank. It's about defense. This build is useful when you want to study about the boss and their attack pattern, or when you want to give your controller to a new player to know how it's interesting and amazing to play as Hat's Eve, or when you want to practice dodging and parrying so you can use it. So now let's see how we can craft it. First we need to find the protection-type Exospine, which can be found inside the 807, where we need to find some access card to some platform. Inside the room we have a generator. If we go to the upper floor, we can this one. It will increase our defense against all kind of damage. The second suggested Exospine is a reflex type which can be found inside the previous build because I tell you about it too much. And now let's see about the gears. First one is a melee protection which can decrease melee damage take from enemies. It got 3 level. First one will reward it you after defeating the corruptor in the 807. Second one can be found in the Matrix 11 at the 10% first start of the game, where some skulls attack you. Adam say the supply is near and you can go inside the room and find it. And the third one can be found after entering to the hyper tube in Spire 4. After you defeating the first time Bilal, you can find this golden box. And second gear is a protection gear, and also it's decreased damage you take. It's got a 3 level. First one will reward it you after defeating the Abaddon, first boss in the 807. Second level can be bought from the Kaya. And for the last one, first you need to make sure you do all 3 side quests for the Sue and Enya. After that, go to the Eidos 4, Spire 4, and when you return here after burning Jian, you can find this gear. So if you want to be a tank and know how to make good perfect parry and dodge, use this build. And the last build is about the skill point farming and self kill and use the beta charge energy and all the thing at the same time. And if you are go to the free roam in the map before ending the game, you can use this build because it's have everything all at once. So let's see how we can craft it. For the Exospine, I suggest use a recovery type Exospine, which will let you stay at the fight more than the normal time because it's increased effective of poison and also recover some beta energy when we use them. You can find it near the solar tower in the Great Desert at the end of the bridge. And for the second Exospine, I suggest conflict type Exospine, which decreases enemy full of view and restore some of our health and our attack power increased when we do successfully executions. And you can find it at the top of the solar tower in the wasteland during the reboot side quest. And for the gear, use the beta charge or brass charge, depend which one you love it more. And I tell you where you can find it in the previous build. And at last, you need to use a training gear to earn a more experience point every time you kill or do a side quest. The first level can be found at near the end of the wasteland, where you can see some abandoned car near the workshop at the southwest of the solar tower. Second one can be bought from the Kaya's shop in the Xi'an, and the third one can be found in the Great Desert near the rocky area. As I saw you in the map, you can find the container near where I show you. Okay geeks, now you are a master at building your Eves and ready it for any purpose you want from her. And know you need to use which Exospine depends on your gameplay and game style. And the one thing is remain to tell you is you can see some slots are locked at the beginning or middle of the game, so don't worry, you need to just continue the game until they get open. by the Lily when he try to upgrade you, and you don't need to do any side quests or anything like this. Lily do everything for you, and you can choose your build as soon as you open the second Exospine slot and open the third gear slot. And I hope you enjoyed the video and know how to build your character. If you find it useful, please subscribe to my channel, leave some likes and comment for me, and tell me which build you prefer for your Eves and your game style. Have a good time. Goodbye, geeks.